Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well, friends. I really do hope that, although there's a sort of understandable crisis reaction to the injury of Levi Colwill, we'll speak a bit more on that today. Should we get a replacement? How bad is it? Also, the transfer stuff is still popping off like cray. Romano, the big transfer content creator himself, said Jackson is leaving. He's gone. He's out of here. Where's he going? Newcastle? Bayern Munich? Possibly Villa. I wonder what the permutations are. And Garnacho has agreed personal terms with Chelsea. He's coming, isn't he? We can speak about that. We can get into it. So strap yourselves in, guys. Daily content here. Multiple videos yesterday. Heck, there'll be multiple videos today because I will, of course, react to our friendly against Bayer Leverkusen. I didn't do like a proper preview because it's going to be hundreds of rotating players. So keep it locked. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel, Football Therapy. And yeah, let's get into it. Beep, 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 beep. Levi Colwill is fundamental to Chelsea on many levels. Replacing him will be tough, writes Liam Twomey on The Athletic. We are going to get into this. If anyone needs a reminder of just how dizzyingly and at times brutally fast football moves, consider then less than 2 weeks ago, Levi Colwill was talking about competing for the Premier League title with Chelsea this season and how he felt about the impending Champions League debut at his boyhood club. Oh, my heart! When the anthem comes on, it's going to be a dream, he told The Athletic. I could get a bit emotional, to be honest. Football is cruel. It's mean. Ouch. The particular dream is going to have to wait, and Colwill will only be human if he had got a bit more emotional in the day since he left. Since his left knee gave away at the end of the first preseason training at Cobham HQ on Monday. A scan confirmed he had torn his ACL, but footballers tend to know immediately when something is badly wrong. Maresca's ominous words in his press conference, sort of inferred that. We know each other from last year. We know how important he has been. I spoke to Levi yesterday. I told him that we achieved what we achieved last year. It's because of him. It's also because of him, should I say, not just because of him. Colwill's absence from Chelsea's trophy celebration in front of several thousand supporters at Stamford Bridge on Wednesday provided the first public indication something was amiss. A club statement issued on Thursday evening attempted to soften the blow while he's saying he's undergone successful surgery. No softening blow there. That's 6 to 12 months, as we spoke on yesterday. There are many sentiments deployed at moments like this, most of them empty. The timing is awful for Colwill before a Chelsea season rich with promise, leading into a World Cup, exactly where he could credibly start for England. Ouch, cold. But then there's never a good time for a footballer to tear the ACL, given how long and grueling the nature of the rehabilitation process. True, but it did felt like it was his time. He'd grown into last season. He was going into this season, Champions League. He wants to attack the Premier League, and he wants to get into the England squad. Cold, man. The coldest story ever told in. Football can be so heartless. It will feel worse because Colwill gives every impression of being one of the football's genuine good guys, devoting his time and his money to Scholling and the new academy that bears his name, as well as organising training session for children on a holiday in Trinidad. But good, bad, or anything between, it's always a sporting tragedy. Look. Yes, this sort of goes into how important he's been in the team. Do your homework, do your research, guys. Statistically, his passing, how important he is in the function of Maresca's Chelsea, the build-up. We've seen the leadership. He's in Chelsea. He loves Chelsea. He wants to win. It's a huge loss. So Twomey writes on the how important he is, how he's got a huge standing, how loads of teams wanted him. Liverpool, Klopp was willing to throw the bag at him, wasn't he, to be a successor to Van Dijk. There's also Colwill's strength of personality, which always stood out as one of the youngest squads ever assembled. No regular perhaps no other regular Chelsea starter could have been relied upon so consistently to field questions from the media after a match, win, loss or draw. A few others were as loud or outwardly forceful on the pitch. Yeah, he's a character. Within the squad, there are no easy solutions, so this is something we've got to speak about. Tosin and Chalobah, good, have both grown in stature and performance in this Chelsea squad, but are untested as a partnership in the league. Benoit Badiashile is not proven as reliable as Colwill, despite being regarded as his closest equivalent. And you could talk about Hato, but I do believe we have signed Uriel Hato to be the left-back deputy. No one's like a nailed-on left-sided starter. And yeah, we can't rely on Badiashile. It's tough. Fofana, arguably Chelsea's most gifted defender. Oh, I didn't say that. That's Liam Twomey's words for The Athletic. For all of you who always give me grief for glazing Fofana, for waxing lyrical Fofana, that's just been my opinion for years. But Twomey of The Athletic wrote, Fofana, arguably Chelsea's most gifted defender. The 24-year-old has also spent much of the time on the sidelines. Of course, that's the issue with Wes. Summer signing Uriel Hato has similarities to in profile to Colwill, left-footed, elegant on the ball, shorter but faster, but elevating the 19-year-old to the status of Premier League starting centre-back so soon would be a big call. Precisely what I said yesterday. The same could be said for 19-year-old Josh Chiampong, who Maresca has genuinely preferred to pick at right back. He's also, well, yeah, true, but he's shown great trust in Josh. He played right back, centre back. He's played him in defensive midfield, an inverting role where he gets forward into that, pocket in the hole in the number 10/8 role. So he's shown trust, but to throw him in at left centre back would be crazy, I think. I'm not saying he couldn't do it, but, you know. The transfer market will always be a consideration for Chelsea at a time like this, but any exploration must be tinged with a wariness of radically altering the dynamic of the heart of Maresca's defence in the long term. True. Until he went down last week, Colwill was a fundamental component of the core that is powering this team's sharp and upward trajectory. And we're up, man. Chelsea stocks are up. Colwill's a huge part of that. Any defensive plan that Chelsea decide upon in what remains of August must allow for that desired scenario where Colwill becomes fundamental again as soon as he returns. Agree. Despite all that, I'm saying sign Mark Gurhey. I'll nail my colours to that mast. He's a left-sided centre-back. We've got good right-sided options. 3 of them. Chalobah, Tosin and Fofana. He's still an option. Left side, we've got one option. Colwill, maybe Badiashile is going to come back. We don't know. We can afford to have 2 great left-sided options. Chelsea Football Club, Champions League, hopefully from now and evermore. You know, Colwill and Gurhey. And Gurhey, of course, is a right footer, can play over if he needs to, yada, yada, yada. I think it would be not jeopardizing the dynamic and squad building long-term to get a player in like that. I'm freaking out, man. We did speak a little bit. I left in the comment section yesterday, Renato Vega. He wants to play a centre-back. He wants to play at left-sided centre-back. Does Maresca look at him and go, right, cool, here's your chance, mate. You ain't going anywhere. Play centre-back for Chelsea for 6 months. If Colwill comes back and you've not quite been the guy, you can go again. But you want to play, you want to get into that Portugal squad again, play for Chelsea in the Champions League. Maybe he's not good enough. I mean, he looks good in spells. He is a good young player. Maybe that's the solution. You keep Renato Vega. Or Chelsea go, well, we want to sell him while he's running hot. We can treble our money on him and that can fund a player like a Mark Gurhey. Let me know your thoughts. Let's move on. So, Romano has confirmed in, I think, a YouTube video I saw aggregated on social media, Jackson's leaving. He gone. It's decided. Player and club. He's gone. I think no hard feelings. He will look at Chelsea as an excellent move for his career. Chelsea will look at the acquisition of Nicholas Jackson as an excellent acquisition that helped them achieve targets and make them loads of bunts. Bare peas, fam. Double their money, etc. Plus more, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. So, it is going to be a great... everyone will reflect on a great signing. Look, he said that. Of course, he's being heavily linked to Newcastle United. Florian Plettenberg, Sky Deutschland, reporter, journalist, has said that also Bayern Munich of Bundesliga fame have a looking at him as well. Of course, they looked at Nkunku and them, man. He is a proper striker. Since they've signed Luis Diaz Bayern, they've got those extra sort of attackers in and around the striker. They've got Harry Kane, but I think they want, you know, another good option. Maybe they could play together, I don't know. And yeah, I mean, it's a huge club. I think Jackson would go to either. I think he knows it's over at Chelsea, playing at St. James's Park, feeling like stepping into Isak's shoes. Because let's be honest, Isak will go to Liverpool. That's me regurgitating violently. I think he'd go to either. He'd get a good pay. Well, he'd probably get the same pay at Newcastle. Would probably get a pay rise at Bayern. Speculating there. Guessing. But it's seemingly over. I wanted to speak about Jackson a little bit. Of course, should this actually happen, well, it seemingly will happen, but as and when it happens, we could bring it home a little bit more. But he's a great player, Nicholas Jackson. I know lots of you don't agree in the comments. That's fine. Football is a game of opinions. But if you look at the data, getting over double digits of non-penalty goals in both his debut seasons, he's done better than Drogba. He's younger than Drogba was. He is not long since been converted into a centre forward. He's got excellent work ethic. He does a lot of the right things. Fine-tuning, and by the time he's 26, like proper getting into his prime, he could be a beast, he could be a monster, and it could be, you know, the one that got away to a degree, but then again, probably not, and I'll tell you why. Because it's not Mohamed Salah. I'll die on this hill. Salah doesn't become the player he is now if he stays at Chelsea. I do think De Bruyne wasn't given enough of a chance, so he, for me, is the example of the one that got away. Because I know we were playing him as like a number 10 and we had like Oscar, Mata, Hazard at the time. So it was like, what the hell am I doing here? Young De Bruyne. So it was tough, basically. But he could have played as he did for Belgium, like with Hazard, easily. They are not overlapping players, basically. So I feel like De Bruyne, for me, is the guy. Probably, it seems like we're going to get our own back on City with Cole Palmer. I know... But, you know, and De Bruyne didn't go directly to City. Cole Palmer went directly from City to us. But look, I don't think Jackson will be there purely because we'll make a huge profit on him. He helped us reach our target in a time of difficulty. This isn't prime Chelsea when we ignored him. We gave him loads of chances. We played him as our striker for 2 years, you know. It does look like his ceiling's higher and he can get better. Maybe he'll reach that elsewhere. But I don't think with Chelsea getting such a big profit on him, with Maresca looking to do different stuff, and also the red cards did tinge it a little bit, it kind of makes me think, yeah, okay, I like Jackson. I think he's a really interesting and good footballer that makes attacks better. But I can sign off on this ultimately. Provided it's double our money or above, I can sign off on it. Can you? So we're gonna talk about Alejandro Garnacho. Vibrato? Question mark. Romano has said Alejandro Garnacho has agreed every detail of personal terms with Chelsea. The deal done on the player side, he only wants Chelsea. So yeah, Garnacho, look, fine, whatever. It's fine. It's fine because we will get him for what is probably seen as objectively a good deal for the player of the ceiling. We've been briefed. We've been briefed by Chelsea Football Club through the vessel and mouthpiece of Matt Law. Chelsea have done extensive background checks on his personality and his character, and they've all come out clean. Ding, 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 ding. Garnacho, you've passed the test. Come join the happy Chelsea kids. You're not going to be a distracting entity, destructive force or entity. You can join the fun. Do you want to join the fun? He's going, heck yeah. Agreed. Right, so they wanted £70 million for him, which is like, what, 80 million euros? No, sir. That's what they wanted even January when we asked about him. So 6 months ago, or whenever it was, we were like, absolutely not. See you later, mate. Now, they are not in a strong negotiating position, right? Because he only wants to come to Chelsea, yeah? It's like when Diego Costa only wanted to go to Atletico Madrid and Conte told... It's exactly the same! Yeah, although Costa was absolutely wicked and in his prime. But do you remember? Costa wanted to go, after he didn't get his China move, he was like, right, well, Conte has told me, remember the Antonio Conte, sent him a text, you're done, mate, go find another club, do one. And Amorim has said to Garnacho, you're done, mate, go find another club, do one. And then Diego Costa said, well, I only want to go to Atletico Madrid, so I'm not going to sign anywhere else, you have to find a way to sell me to them. Seemingly, Garnacho's going, well, I only want to go to Chelsea. Sell me to Chelsea, I won't go anywhere else. Which makes the seller in a really, really weak position. Apart from somehow, we had Marina Granovskaya at the helm of Chelsea, and she got like 60 million for Costa. We doubled our money on him, which is mental, and he didn't really do very well for them. She worked miracles with Costa and Hazard sales. Incredible. With all the add-ons, Eden Hazard, we didn't even see out his contract. We got 160 million euros. With all those crazy add-ons, because he kept winning the Champions League and League, even though he didn't play for them. And he had 12 months left on this deal as a 28-year-old who wanted to go. Incredible salesmanship? Is that a word? Yes, so they don't have Marina Granovskaya. They need the money. They're trying to, pay. They've got Seshko. They need to get some cash. They've got Seshko and Burmo Cunhas. They're seemingly spending hundreds of millions, despite, Ratcliffe telling us they're going to the wall and they're broke. But they're spending hundreds of millions out of nowhere. So that's interesting. But they will want to sell Garnacho, just like they want to sell Anthony and Sancho. Of course, Rashford's on loan at Barca. Chelsea said 30 million. Now, I do think, as much as all Chelsea fans were like, yeah, we'll do it for 30 million. Even the non-believers were like, well, 30 million for a kid with that ceiling, But I think that was Chelsea lowballing them. They say 70, Chelsea say 30. There's this idea that they'll meet at 50. But I think, Chelsea will view this as not paying 50 as a victory. So Man United would see 50 as like, all right, thank you very much. We've lowered our price, 70 to 50. We'll take that. It's important money for us. Chelsea will view getting under that 50 mark as a victory for them, for a player they just really want. They really want Garnacho. They have for a while. The sporting directors have profiled Alejandro Garnacho for a while. They think they've looked at what's gone wrong and they've gone, yeah, that's Man United. We can make him good. So I think 40 million, 45. They signed Garnacho. You might think that's a little bit too much. It will be less than Jamie Gittins from Borussia Dortmund. It will be less. Significantly less than Joao Pedro. It will be significantly less than Xavi Simons should we sign him. It will be the cheapest attacker bar Liam Delap's release clause that we sign. So yeah, I was looking at stats. We can look at it again. He does seem very, very effective at times when he's committed. He won't start for Chelsea, I don't think. I think he'll be a rotational option with Gittins. I think Gittins is profiled as a proper Maresca player. But we'll see what happens. He only wants Chelsea. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Make sure you're strapped into football therapy. Make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified. So you get the news brought to you as soon as possible. Remember, there's content daily. I did miss one day, but generally daily over on Football Yannick, the second channel, where I'm trying to get 20,000 subs. So thank you for supporting my content over there. Just search Football Yannick on the YouTube. Right. See you back here soon. Peace.